All right, so we're going to move on from the Kipro Mini, get into something that I'm calling my favorite. I know I'm not supposed to play favorites, but the reason I don't have a big brother AJA Kipro in my hands right now is that it's back there with Virgilio Castillo, my technical director. It's recording my show. That's how much I think of the AJA Kipro, because it does so many things for me. It does recording. It does up converting and down converting. For instance, we're taking a standard def component down converted output for a backup record right out of the AJA Kipro. What are the most important parts of using the AJA Kipro? Well, if you really need to make sophisticated changes on the fly, you can do so easily with its web interface. Like the Kipro Mini, the AJA Kipro has Ethernet, all right? Ethernet input right here. It serves up its own web page so that you can access all of its sort of proc amp features, all of its clip naming features, all the kind of stuff that you don't want to have to do through a little menu system. You can do it on a nice, easy-to-use, web-based GUI that's built into the product. So that web interface is really cool. It does analog to digital conversions. You can even get a composite output, which is very handy in the field. At this moment, we're going to turn back to Debbie for another question coming in from the internet.
Okay, Wally wants to know, Sony to HD-SDI out for 444?
Wally Gator, thank you for watching the show, brother. Let's hear that question one more time, a little slower for me.
Sony to HD-SDI out for 444?
All right, I'm going to make my best guess here. The Sony PMW F3, brand new camera, we've got it over here in the set, with an upgrade from Sony that you can user install. You can purchase the upgrade, slide a little SYS card in your camera, and upgrade the firmware. That gives you dual HD-SDI, dual link HD-SDI output that provides a 444 2K output. Hopefully I'm addressing your question there. Are we cool with that?
I'll let you know.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Let's get back to the AJA Kipro. At this time, the Kipro does not record dual link HD-SDI, and it doesn't record 444. All right, although it is the biggest and largest of the devices we've covered so far, its pipes are not as thick as 2K at the moment. You're getting 1920 by 1080, you're getting 1280 by 720, or you're getting any SD resolution you want. It does PAL, and it does NTSC frame rates, just like all the other three that we have mentioned so far. It does have flexible drive options. What do I mean by that? Well, you can either use solid-state memory. Let's say you're going to be in a helicopter and you don't want to suffer any vibration, or you're going to be in a race car, right? And there are going to be insane G-forces. You might need a solid-state drive, and AJA makes first-party solid-state drives that slide right into the device. Very, very nifty, very handy. Additionally, you can have spinning disk drives. They come in 250 and 500 gigs. All right, that's really valuable. So at $39.95 list, we could probably do a little better for you. That includes the 250 gig drive. With 250 gigs, recording at ProRes 422 HQ, the highest quality resolution, that's a 2.5-hour record time. So if you're at a show, that's going to be very handy to have. If you want to step it up one hard drive size larger, you get the 500 gig hard drive, and that's 5 hours. 5 hours, that's an entire concert, that's a church service, that's whatever you need to record. HD-SDI input, right? 422 compression, ProRes 422 HQ. Eject the drive, and you can use the ejected drive as a standalone FireWire hard drive. You can bus power it from your laptop, from your desktop, whatever, and it's already in a ProRes format, so you can dump it right onto your Final Cut Pro timeline. Avid now is also accepting ProRes 422 in its editing system. One little hiccup we've come across with Avid, including the ProRes 422 footage coming off of the AJA Kipro drives, is it's got to be on an Avid that can handle Macintosh formatted drives. So there's the FAT32 and there's the NTFS, two different file systems. If you know what I'm talking about, maybe you've come up against this. It's important to note, if you want to use the footage directly off an AJA Kipro hard drive with your Avid device, you're going to need to be able to speak to a Macintosh formatted drive. So at this point, we're going to go back to Debbie with a question coming in from the internet.
Yes. Robert would like to know, how big is the unit to mount on a Sony F900R?
All right, Robert. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you for writing in. If you're going to mount a unit to an F900, So far, the only device that's going to mount to your F900 V3, version 3, right, with HD component output is the AJA Kipro. That's the big one that we're talking about here. If you've got an F900R, you can use any of the ones that we've mentioned so far because that'll have HD-SDI output. So you're asking how big is the unit? I'm going to go shoebox. I'm going to say shoebox. It's not quite as big as a shoebox. I'm going to say like this. Jose, is it easy enough for you to pop that camera off and take a look behind the door and show them our Kipro?
Could be a little challenging.
Okay, but I think you can do it.
All right.
All right.
But keep talking.
Come on back behind the scenes with us, and we'll show you how big the Kipro is. There it is. That's Verge. That's our technical director extraordinaire. He's showing you. There it is. There it is. So Robert, I hope that answers your question, bro. That's how big it is to hang off the back of an F900. You'll notice it's got our rod plate solution on it, which means you can put the you can put this device in between your camera and your tripod, all right? Or you could hang it off a rod system. So there are definitely ways to mount this AJA Kipro to your F900 rig. Thank you very much for asking that question. I appreciate it. Unless there's another question coming in from the internet about the AJA Kipro, we're going to move on to another exciting new digital recording device.